I mean, you can see why it was such a foundational movie for the French New Wave, because it's kind of has everything of the French New Wave in it. It's completely meta, down to the point of people literally watching themselves on screen. Completely breaks the fourth wall. It reflects back on itself, but it's also completely naturalistic. It's about the streets. Just as the earliest musicals were dependent on this new invention of sound on film, this is completely a product of the new invention of smaller 16mm cameras that had just started becoming available, affordable. Just the idea of being able to carry a camera out into the street or expose inside a normal Parisian apartment building with daylight and having portable sound, sync sound.
Exactly.
So you're seeing some of the first times that filmmakers are actively grappling with what these things mean. And so I think it's one of the reasons I love this film. It's also one of the reasons I love and I'm always inspired by documentaries of this period, whether French or American or from elsewhere, and certainly Jean Rouch. In this and other of his films, you see a language being born. It's really kind of wonderful.
And I know that you have been a fan of the work of Frederick Wiseman, but this is a very different film than High School or Law and Order. So can you tell me what you think about the intervention of Rouch and Morin into their own film? What do we get from it? It's a very different experience, right?
Yeah. To me, there's still something that that links all these films, this or Weissman or the Maisels, and again, I think or the Robert Drew documentaries. I mean, and I think that they're all sort of very different, but they're all kind of united in some way by this newness of the camera in someone's face. The idea of taking a camera out on the streets or into a high school or into an office building or into a factory. Now we take that so for granted, and here you get to see a moment in history, a moment in film where that was still this kind of new thing. And there's few stretches in the history of all film I find as just endlessly moving and inspiring and fascinating as the section early in the film when they just go out and start asking people if they're happy.
Madame, s'il vous plaît. Pas le temps, je fatigue déjà beaucoup, alors là. Est-ce que vous êtes heureux, monsieur?
Oh, me parlez pas tout ça.
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît, est-ce que vous êtes heureux?
Toujours, oui.
C'est vrai?
Mais oui.
Oh oui, ben là, ça va. C'est machin, là.
Ça dépend ce que vous appelez heureuse. Heureuse, je suis heureuse en ménage, oui.
Non, madame.
Je vous en prie,
Soyez
mais
gentille avec nous.
ça se voit. Ça se voit pas sur ma figure.
Mais si, mon ange. Si vous avez un visage très clair.
Bon, alors je suis heureuse. Heureuse de vivre, malgré que j'ai 60 ans.
Vous avez 60 ans?
Oui, et que je fais 20 km tous les jours pour venir travailler à Paris. Je suis contente d'avoir la santé et un mari gentil.
Ça dépend.
Ça dépend de quoi?
Ça dépend sur quoi. Vous savez, question d'argent, non. On n'est jamais heureux quand on est ouvrier.
Et des fois, j'ai bien des misères.
Oui. Vous n'êtes quand même pas malheureux.
J'ai perdu ma soeur,
Aïe.
44 ans. Et ma chère. Et je suis bien embêté, croyez-moi. Maintenant, je ne cherche pas à comprendre.
It reminds me that you can completely violate any sense of fly-in-the-wall observational cinema and still get at something that's just as true or feels just as stumbled upon or accidental as anything that Weissman, for example, gets.